Is MindsEye really a bad game? No, not the worst game ever, but it's not a good game. It's not even a mediocre, somewhat okay game. Not because the idea behind what it was supposed to be was bad, or because the developers just thought, let's just go out of our way to make a terrible game so that people can meme on it for the next 2 years. No, it's not that. It's just they didn't give it enough time. Cyberpunk 2077 didn't get enough time, but unironically, over the span of, I don't know, a couple years, whatever, they totally fixed the game and added so much content that it fully redeemed. Like, Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red redeemed that completely. Like, it was memed on how bad Cyberpunk was on release, but it's literally goated now. So goated that they're allegedly making Cyberpunk 2. So, ain't that something? But with MindsEye, I'll admit, I wanted MindsEye to be a good game. I was rooting for it, because when I saw the early clips of gameplay that were getting leaked on TikTok, I thought, you know what? I actually like the look of this. Little did I know, those clips of what I saw, that was it. Outside of doing actual story missions, that's it. Walking around doing nothing, you can kill NPCs without consequences? Who thought of that? Look, if you're gonna label your game as the alleged GTA killer, and you have it so that you can literally kill NPCs without police of some sort arriving to respond to it, kind of weird. I don't know, that's just me. So a lot of people are saying that this is a news, like, Saints Row flopped, but did it really? Yeah, it, out of 24,000 ratings on the PlayStation Store, it got a 3, but was the game bad, or is it just a Saints Row game? Because comparably, if you put two and two together, the original Saints Row 3, or even the remaster, and Saints Row the reboot have a lot in common. Mechanically and visually, in a lot of aspects, if comparing the remake, they're pretty similar, and low quality and low effort, and that's what Saints Row is. It's a low quality, low effort spoof version of GTA. However, MindsEye was literally meant to be as good as, or apparently better than, GTA. So, which it clearly wasn't, because Sony had to actually issue refund options for players, and Sony doesn't like giving money back at all for anything. The last game that I heard about that had that as a thing, I think, was Cyberpunk, and that was back in 2019, because it was buggy. So buggy. Not just the game was boring, so give me my money back. No, like, it literally couldn't even run. Albeit, I never had these issues, but that's just what I heard. A friend of mine literally got into a car, and it just jumped into the sky, and he died, so apparently that was pretty common. Point being, I wanted MindsEye to be good. It wasn't, and I don't think we're ever going to get MindsEye to be good. I don't think the developers ever really intend on making it any better, or definitely adding content. I think the way it is now is pretty much the peak of what it was going to be for the most part. I don't think they'll really add much more. They said they're going to add co-op after launch at some point, which is kind of weird. With a game that has such little to do, adding co-op is really weird to me. And if you think about that, Watch Dogs Legion didn't do well, and its single player didn't have much to do, and the multiplayer had even less to do. So shouldn't that have been the lesson? Hey, adding nothing to do in a game really makes it bad and boring and bad. So maybe don't do that. But they did anyway, because what do you do? It's Ubisoft. And I know saying it's Ubisoft is a thing to say. It's like the go-to. I'm gonna be honest, Ubisoft's made a lot of good games. A lot. Even if you guys meme on some of them and think, oh, well, they're just trash because a bunch of streamers said so, or whoever on TikTok said so, fine. But in reality, Ubisoft's made some serious gems, and there's no denying it. You can have your opinion, but there's still reviews and ratings online that say otherwise. And if I'm being dead honest, I think it's kind of ridiculous that the expectations for games now is, well, I hope it runs at least on launch, right, guys? What kind of fad is that? Yeah, can't wait for the new GTA game to come out, GTA 6. Let's hope it runs and doesn't crash, because I think a lot of people are pretty concerned that after seeing the second trailer for GTA 6, graphically, it looks crazy. So the immediate response is, oh boy, is this even gonna run? I think it will. Rockstar's been pretty good about the quality of their games. They've made a pretty good reputation for themselves, so I have a pretty good feeling that it'll turn out pretty fine. Is that saying that there will be absolutely no bugs at all? No, not at all. I feel like there will definitely be bugs. Every Rockstar game has had bugs, but not to the point that they're unplayable, not to the point that they're actually memed on because of how unplayable they are, because they actually playtest things before dropping the game. A thing that game developers don't do anymore, and that's why we have betas for everything. You notice how Rockstar doesn't ever release betas for games? Isn't that funny? When have you ever seen the beta for GTA 5 or the beta for Red Dead 2 or the LA Noire beta? No, because they just make sure it's playable before it launches, because that's what you do. Games having betas has only been a thing because of Call of Duty for the most part, and that's just because they know that they're going to have a Call of Duty game release every single year. So it being solely pretty much only played for the multiplayer, kind of why they have that. They want as much stress testing as possible. But for pretty much literally any other game, I think pushing out quote-unquote betas for literally every game now, it's kind of sad. And MindsEye didn't even have a beta. We just got it half-baked. I don't know how that even happened, but it happened. So anyway, that's it.